this video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what you need to be able to do for your very first grade in karate, so your first Mon. So here we're going to be looking at our 4 blocks, our punch at 2 levels and our kick at 2 levels, and we're going to do that from standing and moving. But this video is great for high levels as well, because it's making sure you're doing all the correct things for your basics, because your basics lead on to all your other techniques and combinations. So let's get to it. So from here, we're going to read, we'll go to Oi. So our first block from here is Age Uke, rising block. So I'm going to take one arm, I'm going to push it up over my head, and it's going to be like a roof over my head. There'll be a bend in the elbow, and it'll be ever so slightly, I'll just bend myself down so you can see, slightly slanting down. So there's a slight lean to it. It's not completely straight, there's a slight lean to it here. Okay, so I'm going to block up again on the other side. It's my other hand will come back onto my hip, as we explained in one of the previous videos, back onto my hip here. And again, it's ni, san. So making sure that you can see underneath it, it's not in front of your eyes, you're not looking over the top of it, it's above your head here. So the top of your head should be kind of in line with how high your arm is. So you don't want it here in front of your forearm, in front of your forehead with your forearm, but just above. Okay, so now let's do that one to count. So ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Excellent work. So now, this time for higher grades, we're going to do that again, but higher grades can think about, as this arm comes up, don't just lift it completely straight up like an Age Uke from the beginning. Bring it up through the body so that fist is coming up, and then push this elbow out at the end. Come up, and then push that elbow out at the end. Come up, and push that elbow out at the end. Okay, so let's try that one again. Ich, push up and out. Okay, ni, so come up and push the elbow out. San, push up and then elbow out. Shi, up and out. Go. Rug. Sich. Ash. Ke. And je. Good, and go to Oi. So we're going to do that once more. Ready? A little bit quicker. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rug. Sich. Ash. Ke. And je. Excellent, get a Oi. So now we're into the opposite of that. So Age Uke was a rising block. This next one's going to be Gedan Barai, a lower sweeping block. So now from here, I'm going to take one arm up to my head, next to my ear, and block down towards where my knee would be. And my other hand's going to come back on my hip. From there, the hand that's on the hip goes from the hip to the head, down towards the knee. So it goes hip, head, knee. Hip, head, knee. And when I say hip, it just means you're using the hip hand. So you use from the hip hand, up to the head, down to the knee. From the hip, to the head, to the knee. Okay, so let's do that on to count. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, and rock. Good. So from there, we can also add in a little bit of a reaction hand, a marking hand with that Gedan Barai. So from here, as I take one arm up, rather than just leaving this hand here, I'm going to push across. So if I was on my hip here, it would come here, and this one will push out towards where I'm going to block and block. For white belts, don't worry too much about this, but high grades, that's something for you to add in. So from here, as I come up, this hand moves across. Can you see? This hand moves across the opposite side. I block. So as I come up, this hand moves across to the other side. Here, this hand comes up, moves across to the other side. Hand comes up, moves across to the other side. Hand comes up, moves across to the other side. So let's do that on to count. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rug, sich, ash, ke, and je. Brilliant, hopefully that's going well. So now we're going to move on to Soto, outside to inside blocks. So we're going to start with the arm out, move it across my body, so it's in line with my shoulder roughly, my elbows pointing to the floor, and my knuckles are pointing to the ceiling. Other hand comes back to my hip. So now from there, I bring this hand back, and this one pushes from my hip across my body. Yeah? So if you're struggling with this one, take the hand out, then push across. Take the hand out, then push across. So this one comes onto the hip, push this one out, and then across, and then from here, bring it across as we go. But what we want to get is going straight from that hip here. So rather than going out from here, I want to come straight from that hip, because I don't need to go over here to then block across. I just want to go from here, across, from here, across. But if you are struggling, take it out a little bit, go to the outside, push across the body. And we're trying to push across our tummy line, where a Chudan strike would be, and pushing across to the outside of the body. So now let's do this one to count. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rug, sich, ash, ke, and je. Excellent, go back to Oi. Let's do it a little bit quicker this time. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rug, sich, ash, ke, je. And go to Oi. Fantastic work. So now we're going to do the opposite of that. So now we're going to do your fourth block, Uchi Uke, inside to outside block. So from here, one hand goes across my body, goes across the hip, pulls out to the exact same level that you had for a Soto Uke, but this time it's going out across your body. Okay, it's rather than going across to the inside, it's going out away from your body. So my hand goes from my hip to my other hip, pulls up and blocks out. My hip goes from one hip to the other hip and pulls up. A little bit like if you were taking your seatbelt off, stretch across, unplug, and then you pull the seatbelt up and out. And again, it's in line with my body here. It's not all the way over there, it's in line. Fist, shoulder height, elbow, pointing to the seat, pointing towards the floor. Okay, so let's do that one together. So we're going to go from the hip and out. Okay, so it's going from the hip hand to the hip and out. So hip to hip to out. From hip to hip to out. From the hip to the hip and out. From the hip to hip to out. So let's do that a bit faster. And to count. Ich, putting the other hand back to your hip. Ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Fantastic. Go back to Oi. Very good. So we're going to do that one again, a little bit quicker. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Go to Oi. Fantastic. So there's our 4 blocks. So from here we've also got 2 different punches, well, 1 punch but 2 different levels. So we're going to punch our fist out and punch Jodan, height. So Ich, punch my hand out and just push it out. And from here it wants to come out. So on my hip, my palm is up, though it's closed. It comes out and right at the last second, it twists at the end. So my knuckles are pointing to the ceiling. And if I had something in my hand, it drops straight to the floor. Okay, making sure that your thumb is on the outside underneath of your fingers. It's not inside your fingers. It's on the outside but underneath. So here, so it's not getting in the way, it's tucked out the way. So from here you punch forwards and you twist that at the end. So you come forwards and you twist the punch at the end. You come forwards and twist the punch at the end. Okay, so let's do that together. Punching Jodan, head height. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Very good. Let's go again a bit quicker. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, je. Making sure you're punching in line with your body. Think about your center line. Runs down the middle of your body, in between your eyes, over your nose, over your mouth, and down your body. You're punching to that center line. So you're punching chin height on the center line. So don't have it over here or over there. Chin height here. So let's try one more set. Ich, ni, san, and we turn at the end. Shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Good, and go to Oi. So now we do exactly the same thing, but we hit tummy height, Chudan. So exactly the same thing. Take your hand out, twist at the end. Take your hand out, twist at the end. Okay? So from there, ready? Put one hand on your hip. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Brilliant. Let's do it a little bit quicker. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, je. And go to Oi. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do kicking Mae Geri, front kick. So we're going to pick up one leg, bend the knee, curl the toes towards the nose, and kick that leg straight out. So I'm going to pick up my other leg, bend the knee, curl the toes towards the nose, and kick straight out. Remember, we want a pushing action. So you want to here, want a pushing action, not a kicking up action here, like this, and not just kicking up from the hip. Bend the knee, kick out. Bend the knee, kick out. So we should be pushing into something. So from there, if you've got someone who can hold maybe like a cushion, you can always practice pushing your foot into that cushion and not kicking up the cushion. So not kicking here and kicking up, but kicking here out. Remember, when you kick, this knee is going to press down so the foot goes out. When you pick the knee up, your foot's going to start going out because your knee is pushing down. Okay, so let's do them together. Mae Geri, front kick. Hitch. Remember those toes towards the nose, kicking tummy height. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rok. Sich. Ash. Ke. And je. Brilliant. Now you keep facing me, and I'm going to turn this way so you can see what's happening from the side a little bit. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Mae Geri, front kick. Remember, curl those toes towards the nose. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rug. Slow mine down a little bit so you can see. Okay, sich, ash, ke, and je. Now we're going to try and kick Gedan head height. Don't worry if you can't. I much prefer to see a Chudan kick, a good Chudan kick, hitting your tummy height Chudan, rather than a really high kick that's a really poor kick. Okay? You don't need to be able to kick over head height, but kicking chin height would be something that you learn to do as well. But focus on Chudan if you're struggling. Make sure it's a good kick. If your toes, when you kick Gedan, your toes aren't curling back towards your nose, and you're kicking very much like sort of kicking up here, I'd much prefer you to stay Chudan height. Practice that until you've got that kick really good, and then start working towards Gedan. And it might just be incremental levels, starting Chudan, then going up towards where the rib cage starts, the diaphragm, kicking there, then a little bit higher towards the chest, then a touch higher, and then getting up towards your head height. And remember, it's your head height you're trying to kick, not mine. Though my head height isn't much probably taller than most of you lot. So now from here, Mae Geri, Gedan, head height kick if you can, or stick with Chudan. Hitch, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Good. You keep facing the camera. I'm now going to kick this way. Hitch, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. And go to Yoi and Ri. So that's the first part of what you need to be able to do towards a Mon grade. You need to be able to move forwards and Mawate turn again. And we're going to come to that in the next video. But for this first part, that's everything done. So if you found that tricky, or you feel you need to go over it again, go back to the beginning of the video, go back through it. There's no time limit. Don't worry about getting things done in one go each time. Go back through, make sure you're doing everything right, and then continue to part 2. Thank you very much.